What if I told you? The most powerful weapon in one of the greatest battles in history was silence. No swords clashing, no arrows flying, no sightowers rising, just footsteps and trumpets, and a command that made absolutely no military sense. Imagine standing in front of a city so fortified. Its walls were so thick that houses were built on top of them. A city that had never fallen. And your leader says, "We're not attacking, we're walking. And when I say shout, the walls will collapse." You would think he lost his mind. But this isn't a story about military strategy. This is a story about obedience and about what happens when fear stands face to face with faith. Before we step into this battle, welcome to St. Kizito, where we bring powerful Bible stories to life. If you love cinematic storytelling that strengthens your faith, hit subscribe right now, because this story, it only gets more intense, and you do not want to miss what happens at the end. Before Jericho, there was grief. The nation of Israel had just lost their leader, Moses, the man who stood before Pharaoh, the man who stretched out his staff and watched the Red Sea split in two. The man who spoke with God face to face. Now he was gone, and all eyes turned to one man, Joshua. Joshua had been Moses' assistant for years. He had seen miracles. He had fought battles. He had climbed mountains with Moses. But following Moses was different from replacing him. Imagine the pressure, the whispers in the camp at night. Is he strong enough? Can he hear God like Moses did? Will we survive under him? And in the middle of that weight, God speaks to Joshua, "Be strong and courageous." Not once, not twice, 3 times, because courage is not automatic. It's chosen when fear is loud. Before Jericho, there was a river. The Jordan River was at flood stage, water rushing violently, deep, fast, dangerous. There were no boats, no bridge, and God gives an unusual command. The priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant must step into the river first, not wait for it to part. Step in while it's still flowing. Imagine holding that sacred ark, feeling the cold water touch your feet. For a moment, nothing happens. Then suddenly, the current stops. Upstream, the water piles up. Downstream, the riverbed dries instantly. The entire nation walks across on dry ground. Jericho hears about this, and fear begins creeping inside its walls. Shift the scene. Inside Jericho, the gates are sealed shut. Merchants stop trading. Guards patrol nervously. Mothers hold their children tighter. Rumors spread like wildfire. They cross the Jordan. Ow! No one crosses at flood stage. And in one house built into the wall of the city, a woman named Rahab makes a decision.
Fresh figs, ripe and sweet.
I'll take a basket. Olives here, best in the city.
Come and see.
She believes, before the battle, before the collapse, before the miracle, she hides 2 Israelite spies. She risks her life, and she says something powerful.
Let's go. What was that?
What was what?
I heard something behind the hay.
Let's check it out. Break it down! Push, brothers!
We have heard what your God has done, and our hearts melted in fear. She asks for mercy when the city falls. The agreement is made. A scarlet cord is tied in her window, a red thread of hope in a city marked for destruction.
Joshua, the land is ours. The city trembles. Jericho's strong, but fear's great.
The Lord has given us this victory.
Joshua stands before Jericho. The walls are massive, thick, high, intimidating. No visible weakness, no way in. Then one night, Joshua sees a warrior with a drawn sword.
Who are you?
Are you for us or for our enemies? Joshua asks. The warrior replies, "Neither, but as commander of the Lord's army, I have now come." This battle is not Israel versus Jericho. It belongs to God. And the strategy? It sounds insane. March around the city once a day for 6 days. 7 priests blow trumpets. Carry the ark. Say nothing. On the 7th day, March 7 times. Then shout. That's it. No ladders. No battering rams. Just obedience. Day 1. The army marches. Trumpets echo. The people say nothing. From the walls, Jericho's soldiers laugh. That's their attack. Day 2. Same thing. Day 3. Still no cracks. Day 4. Whispers begin among Israel. Why aren't we fighting? Day 5. The sun burns. Sweat drips. Still walking. Day 6. The walls look exactly the same. And that's the hardest part, when nothing changes. Faith is easy when results are visible. Faith is tested when the walls don't move. But Joshua doesn't change the plan. He keeps walking. Before sunrise, Joshua gathers the people. Today we march 7 times. The air feels different. Lap 1, silence. Lap 2, tension. Lap 3, Jericho stops laughing. Lap 4, guards grip their weapons tighter. Lap 5, fear grows inside the city. Lap 6, the people of Israel are exhausted but determined. Lap 7, the priests blow the trumpets long and loud. Joshua raises his voice. Shout, for the Lord has given you this city. And thousands of voices explode at once. A roar of faith, a sound that shakes the air. And then, the ground trembles. Stone cracks. Dust erupts into the sky. The walls collapse. Not slowly, not partially, completely. The city that looked invincible falls in seconds. In the middle of destruction, one house still stands, marked by a scarlet cord. Rahab and her family are rescued because she believed before she saw. Grace in the middle of judgment. But the story doesn't end there. God had commanded that no treasure from Jericho be taken. Everything was devoted. But one man, Achan, secretly kept gold and garments, hidden under his tent. The next battle should have been easy, but Israel loses. Mendi, Joshua falls face down in confusion, and God reveals the hidden sin. Victory was blocked by disobedience. The sin is exposed. Judgment follows. Only then does success return. Jericho is not just about ancient walls. It's about the walls in your life. Fear, addiction, doubt, delay, impossibility. Sometimes the strategy won't make sense. Sometimes you'll walk for 6 days and see nothing change. But if you keep walking, if you keep trusting, there is a 7th day. And when the shout finally comes, the wall doesn't crack slowly. It collapses completely. Because obedience may look weak at first, but in the end, it shakes cities,